So, let's talk about what really makes us get things done. I'll give you a spoiler. It's probably not what you've been told. This isn't about chasing that warm, fuzzy feeling we call motivation. Nope. The idea we're digging into today is something a lot more raw, maybe even a little uncomfortable. It's all about pressure, not motivation.
Whoa. Okay. Let's just let that one hang in the air for a second. Motivation is a lie. I mean, that pretty much goes against every self-help book and inspirational poster out there, right? We're always told to find our why, to wait for that spark. But the argument here is if you're just sitting around waiting to feel like it, you might be waiting forever.
So if we take motivation off the table, what's left? That's the big question, isn't it? What is the real engine that actually pushes us forward, especially when things get hard and ugly? What's the force that gets us off the couch and into the game, instead of just thinking about it?
All right, let's get right into it and start by taking a sledgehammer to what the source material calls the motivation myth. This is that old story we've been sold for years, the one that says you have to feel good to get going. But what if that belief is the very thing that's been holding you back?
You know the drill. Find your passion. Discover your inner drive. We're trained to think of motivation like it's some kind of magical lightning bolt that we just have to wait for. We're supposed to just sit back and chill until the right feeling hits. But come on, what happens when that feeling just doesn't show up? Or worse, what if it bails on you right when things get difficult?
And that's the core of the problem. It's totally unreliable. So let's break down exactly why counting on motivation can feel like you're playing a game you're destined to lose.
And here it is, laid out plain and simple. Motivation, well, it's kind of a fair weather friend. It loves it when things feel good, but the moment you get a little too comfortable or things get a little too hard, poof, it's gone. Pressure, on the other hand, couldn't care less about your mood. It's that raw force that makes you move when it's messy, when it's difficult, and when it's the absolute last thing on earth you feel like doing.
This really gets to the heart of it. Think about the people who are consistently at the top of their game. They aren't waking up and checking their emotional temperature to see if they're motivated enough to work. No way. They just do the work, period, regardless of how they feel.
Okay, so if motivation is a flaky friend we can't count on, what's the alternative? This brings us to the really powerful part of this whole idea, understanding and using the power of pressure. This is the real engine for getting things done.
Now, this engine has three main parts. First up is pressure itself. Its job is incredibly simple. It makes standing still impossible. It's the have to, not the want to. It's the shove you need to get off the starting line.
But just moving without a plan is just, well, chaos. That's where the second part comes in. Hunger. And we're not talking about being hungry for a snack. This is a deep, gnawing hunger for a different result. When you are truly hungry, your brain has no choice but to start thinking, strategizing, and finding a way out. Because staying where you are is simply not an option.
So pressure gets you moving, hunger gets you thinking, and the final, critical piece of the puzzle is urgency. This is the catalyst. It's the spark that forces you to act now. It's the ticking clock that turns a someday plan into immediate, decisive action.
Now, this all makes perfect sense. But the question is, how do you actually apply it? The real secret isn't waiting for a crisis to create pressure for you. No, the real power move is when you learn how to be the architect of your own urgency.
So how do we do that? It's actually a pretty straightforward three-step blueprint. First, name your goal. Get crystal clear on what you want. Second, define the cost of doing nothing. I mean, really feel the pain of what happens if you stay exactly where you are. Make it vivid. And third, this is the secret weapon. Create a real, tangible consequence for not acting. Something that makes doing nothing way more painful than doing the work.
And ultimately, this is the entire mindset shift right here. Stop chasing a feeling that might never show up. Stop waiting for some muse to bless you with motivation. Instead, become an engineer. Start building a system of consequences that makes your progress practically inevitable.
So I'll leave you with this question. And it's not just something to think about, it's a direct challenge. Forgetting about motivation for just a minute, what is one real, meaningful source of pressure that you can create for yourself starting today?